48 BC. Egypt is tearing itself apart in civil war. A 21-year-old queen has been exiled by her own brother, who now wants her dead. Her name is Cleopatra. Meanwhile, the most powerful man in the known world sails into Alexandria, Julius Caesar. Cleopatra has no army, no allies, and almost no time left, but she refuses to beg. Instead, she makes one single, insanely daring decision, a move so bold it could have ended her life in an instant or changed the course of history forever. This is the story of how a young exiled queen rolled the ultimate gamble and won everything. To understand just how desperate her situation was, we need to go back a little. Cleopatra VII was born into the Ptolemaic dynasty, Greek rulers who had controlled Egypt for nearly 300 years. She was incredibly intelligent, spoke multiple languages, and was trained from childhood to rule. But tradition demanded she marry her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII, and rule jointly with him. Their relationship quickly turned toxic. Court factions and advisors turned the young king against her sister. By 48 BC, Cleopatra was driven out of Alexandria. She fled into the desert with just a handful of loyal supporters. Her brother's forces controlled the capital, and they were hunting her. At the same time, Rome was in chaos after its own civil war. Julius Caesar had defeated his rival Pompey, who fled to Egypt seeking help. Ptolemy XIII's advisors murdered Pompey and presented his head to Caesar as a gift, a fatal mistake. Caesar arrived in Alexandria furious and ready to impose order. He set himself up in the royal palace and began investigating the Egyptian succession crisis. Cleopatra knew this was her only chance. If Caesar sided with her brother, she would lose her throne and probably her life. She had to reach him before her brother's advisors poisoned Caesar's mind against her. But the palace was heavily guarded. Any attempt to enter openly would mean immediate arrest or worse. So Cleopatra did something no one expected. She came up with a plan so audacious it still shocks historians today. Under the cover of darkness, she contacted her most loyal servant, Apollodorus. She ordered him to smuggle her straight into Caesar's private quarters. How? She had herself carefully wrapped inside a large roll of bedding, what later became famous as a Persian carpet or heavy linen sack. Imagine the risk. She was completely helpless, trapped inside the roll, depending entirely on one man to carry her past dozens of Roman and Egyptian guards. One wrong move, one suspicious guard, and it would all be over. Apollodorus carried the heavy bundle on his shoulder through the palace corridors. He walked right past the guards and into Caesar's private chambers. Caesar, exhausted from the day's tensions, looked up curiously as the large roll was placed on the floor before him. Then, with one smooth motion, the carpet unrolled. Out stepped the 21-year-old Queen Cleopatra, poised, elegant, and fearless. Dressed in her finest royal attire, with golden jewelry catching the torchlight. Caesar was stunned. No one had ever approached him like this. In that single moment, Cleopatra bypassed all the politics, all the advisors, and all the barriers. She turned a desperate situation into a private audience with the most powerful man alive. Instead of anger, Caesar was captivated by her courage, intelligence, and charm. They talked through the night. Cleopatra laid out her case with brilliance and wit. Caesar, known for his own sharp mind, was impressed. He decided to support her claim to the throne. What followed was swift and dramatic. Caesar's forces clashed with those loyal to her brother. Ptolemy XIII was defeated and drowned in the Nile during the fighting. Cleopatra was restored as Queen of Egypt. To keep up appearances, Caesar arranged for her to marry her even younger brother Ptolemy XIV, but real power now rested with her. Not long after, Cleopatra gave birth to a son, Ptolemy 15 Caesar, better known as Caesarion. Many believed he was Caesar's child. She had gone from hunted exile to undisputed ruler of one of the richest kingdoms in the ancient world, all because of one reckless, brilliant move. But that one bold decision didn't just save Cleopatra, it reshaped the ancient world. She and Caesar formed a powerful political and personal alliance. She later visited him in Rome, where he even had a golden statue of her placed in a temple. After Caesar's assassination in 46 BC, Cleopatra would go on to another famous alliance with Mark Antony. But it all started with that one night in Alexandria. Historians still debate whether it was pure calculation, genuine attraction, or both. What's undeniable is this: Cleopatra didn't wait for fortune to favor her. She forced fortune's hand with one daring gamble when everything was on the line. So, what do you think? Was Cleopatra's carpet gamble the smartest political move in ancient history, or pure madness that just happened to work? Drop your thoughts in the comments and tell me which historical figure's bold move we should cover next. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of history's greatest gambles, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We're building a channel all about the single decisions that built empires or burned them to the ground. Next time, we'll tackle another legendary risk-taker. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the boldest move is the only move that matters.